Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Great start to the holiday weekend for Fever fans. Not a great start to the game, but a great start to the holiday weekend for Fever fans. Now, if you will indulge me, before we get to the good stuff, I just have to say, I got to get this out. The officiating and the announcing, some of the absolute worst I have seen in sports. I mean, they couldn't. The officials are horrific, and then the announcers are praising the officials. They can't get any of the players' names right. And look, and I'm not talking about difficult names to pronounce that you may have not seen before. I've done that. Everyone's done that. It's tough. I get it. I mean, but I'm talking about, I think they called Kelsey Mitchell Kelsey Plum. They talked about someone said Caitlin Reese is the rookie of the year, and it was just I don't know where they were, La La Land maybe, I don't know, but it was crazy. The officiating was absolutely some of the worst I've ever seen in basketball. And look, I've officiated soccer and basketball. It's a tough job. It is a thankless job. I get it. I don't have a problem with high speed, bang, bang, difficult calls that if you super slow mo, you might be able to figure it out. I get it. But the really, really, really obvious stuff, there was way too much obvious stuff that was wrong. Aaliyah Boston got another technical because of that. She got into foul trouble. I mean, I think everybody, it seemed like almost everybody on the Fever by the third quarter was in foul trouble. It was absolutely terrible. Come on, WNBA. You can't call yourself a professional basketball league if you're going to have that nonsense. It's got to get fixed. Whew, okay. Let's dig in. Let's talk about the good. And there still was a little bit of bad, and that was the start. This team did not look ready to play at all. They were slow. They were really bad defensively in the first few minutes. And I will say, to be fair to them, Chicago, which is a terrible, terrible 3-point shooting team, was shooting lights out early. I swear, I think they made 4 or 5 of the 9 they made for the game in the first few minutes. And then, and this is what was great to see. I mean, you do want to go through moments like that because it did not start out the Fever's way. The Sky, I think the Sky, I want to say 13. I meant to make a note of it, but I didn't. But I believe their biggest lead was 13, if I'm not mistaken. The way the Indiana Fever responded was superb. They turned things up a notch. They ran, but they also turned up the defensive pressure. Their defense, both 1v1, the movement on the switches, the rotations, the way they defended in the paint was fantastic. Really, really good. And specifically to Caitlin Clark, I want to point something out because it's something I haven't really talked about, but it's been something I've noticed that's a problem for me besides her stance. I've always felt she was a little lazy in closing out on 3-point shooters. You watch a lot of defenders close out on threes that they know they're not getting the block, but they close out hard. They get in the air, they extend, they get that hand up to try and distract them. Didn't really ever see that from Clark until tonight. I think she got, like the rest of the team, she got angry, and you saw closeouts on the threes after the Sky jumped to a big lead. You saw closeouts on the threes from Caitlin Clark that were very, very aggressive. She was getting the hand fully extended. She was getting off the ground, and she was making them work for it. Even though she knows she wasn't getting to the block, now they had something in their face to worry about while they were shooting. I thought that was really, really good. Look, clearly, Clark and Mitchell got them back in the game offensively. In the first half alone, Caitlin Clark had 15.7 assists, 3 rebounds. She was 3 for 5 from 3. Her total shooting percentage was 79%. Kelsey Mitchell had 18 points. She was 7 for 10, 3 for 4 from 3-point lane. line. Combined, they had 33.7 assists, 4 boards, and 83% total shooting percentage. Absolutely insane. And look, as we see looking at this, one thing I wanted to see, I wanted to get some others, but couldn't find anything. But like, this is what? This is early, right? This is only 3 minutes into the game. I knew we were in trouble when this didn't get called. Where are we with this thing? Okay, I want to play from here. Right, I knew we were in trouble. That's after a drain three. I mean, how is that? How is that? How is that? How is this not right? That's not called, folks. That was not called. I mean, that is shocking, and it only went downhill from there. But look, as far as the players, I feel like I don't even want to shout out anyone because I can shout out the whole team, really. And the fact that they did this without Boston, and when I say without Boston, obviously she worked hard tonight. She grabbed 5 boards in only 22 minutes. She had 4 assists and 3 steals and a block, and only played 22 minutes because of foul trouble. But what I mean is, she didn't get a bucket until the fourth quarter, mainly because of foul trouble, but also it just wasn't going her way, and she only took 5 shots. And so when you have a team, and they put up 100 tonight. Remember how we've always talked about consistently they'd have a 30 to 35 point quarter, and the rest of them they would struggle. They were above 22 every single quarter tonight, even with the rough start. 23, 24, 31, 22, 100. And they played good defense tonight as a team, which was really, really nice to see. But really, all of them, having Mitchell and Clark only playing 32 and 29 minutes is fantastic. Remember what I said? I think was it today's video earlier today or yesterday's video? I said, I'm not worried about Caitlin Clark's threes. I gave a shout out to Jason Whitlock because he was being silly. And she was 5 of 9 from 3 tonight. And there were some deep threes, and one was insanely deep, and she still actually hit off the heel of the rim. So it was really, she shot it well in the first half. That was the heat check after she made 2 bombs in a row. And then she chucked one, I think it was towards the end of the shot clock. It was after they had a big lead. She chucked that one air ball in the in the fourth. But yeah, I mean, Lexie Hull was fantastic again in 32 minutes. Hit 3 for 4 from 3 again, folks. She is shooting lights out from 3. And yeah, I know we talk about, well, she's wide open for them. Yeah, and she's hitting them, and that is huge. I mean, they were, as a team, 13 of 29, almost 45% from 3. That is crazy. This team, I don't want to play this team if I'm anyone else. I don't want to play this team in the playoffs because if they run and their defense gets more consistent to what we saw tonight, man, I don't want to be the one who plays this team. I mean, look, I Melissa Smith, it's tough. I mean, she had some stretches of bad ball, but she also did some good things tonight. I mean, if she plays 19 minutes and goes 5 of 8, grabs 7 boards, the 3 turnovers I could do without from someone who doesn't touch the ball all that much, but 14.7 rebounds in 19 minutes, I'm not going to complain. Temi Fagbenle, again, nothing really there with the offense, but she was so good with her all-around game in the 18 minutes she played. I don't know why she only played 18 minutes. Maybe she's not quite ready, but at this point, I think we could creep her minutes up over 20. And again, a stat I don't usually talk about, but hers is the highest by far, plus 29 in only 18 minutes. That's crazy. I mean, even, I got to say, I thought Erica Wheeler played fine tonight. Dantas was big tonight. She hit a few big buckets in her 18 minutes. She defended well tonight, which was really, really good to see. So I have a few things lined up and I forgot to write down their order, so it's going to be a surprise to you and me. But oh yeah, let's see. Hold on, back it up there, Junior. This is I forget which break this is. I think this was Temi's bucket, if I'm not mistaken. That's insane, that pass. I think Temi might have gotten away with a step there, but you know what? They never call that in the NBA either. So that's a pretty standard. Yeah, you traveled, but you're so wide open. We're gonna let it go. Um, and then this was I think oh yeah, this is actually Aaliyah, but this was some of the type of things that partially drive me crazy because we don't see it enough because the offensive sides wants to run doesn't have this in it, but the players are starting to learn each other more and they're feeding off Caitlin, and you're seeing things like Aaliyah Boston, by the way, best passing center in the WNBA right now. Not she's going to be, she is. And you're seeing things, especially with Kelsey Mitchell, and you're also seeing it with Lexie Hull, is you're seeing easy buckets on back cuts. I mean, it's getting, and that's what you get right here. And it's Clark to Boston, and boom, and they're all looking the wrong way because you know what they're thinking there. That's going to go to Kelsey Mitchell for a three. The defender is shading over. She wants to take away that three from Kelsey, but Kelsey Mitchell is so quick, and Aaliyah Boston is such a good passer that you can't overplay the three. You can't, because you've got space in the paint because Aaliyah Boston is out at the top of the key. And look, you leave her wide open, she will hit a three herself. So you can't overplay Kelsey Mitchell on that, folks. You just can't do it. You got to pick your poison, as they say. And here, I didn't know it was running. Sorry. But this was the first one. This tied up the game in the second, and from here they started rolling. This was one of those. You said, "Oh yeah." And by the way, sorry, I know y'all get so mad at me when I pause in the middle of it, and I'll even back that up. But what I wanted to say, evolution, evolution. Erica Wheeler does not make this pass earlier in the season. I think we can all agree on that one. She does not make this pass earlier in the season, but she's making it now, folks. And that is a logo three. That is downtown. That is nothing but net. Look out. Here come the Indiana Fever. And then, guess what? That tied it up at 26 after they trailed bigly. So let's, I don't know, see what we can do on the very next possession. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. And by the way, what I absolutely love about this, folks, is there is movement. There is something developing. There is Caitlin Clark off of the ball to get free. And then not only that, when they do give her the ball, then there's another pick while she has the ball to free her up for this 3-point shot. I mean, this is great. Dantas, because Dantas is very patient. Erica Wheeler takes her spot. Dantas sets that pick. And yeah, okay, we're feeling it tonight. We're off to the races. Absolutely huge play. The things I'm starting to see, and look, I'm still going to say, hey, this half court offense stuff, when you get into Christie sides, get the ball in the paint thing, get those paint touches slowly, that's not good. When the Fever run the offense that suits them, even in sort of a little more of an up-tempo half court, man, I don't know how you stop them consistently. They have to stop themselves. I don't even remember. What play? I think this is again made bucket, folks. Made bucket. But you know what? Y'all better get yourselves back on defense because made buckets don't mean anything again. And there we go. Overplay the three. Nobody's defending there because Dantas herself, and this is one of the things I love about Damiris Dantas. She is a legit 3-point threat. Plus, I mean, and it doesn't even have to be three. She just has range, right? So guess what? It spreads the court. It opens up the paint, which means if you have another post player in there, like Aaliyah Boston playing with her or Fagbenle that you can post up, there's more space. But then you also get this because you have to worry about Lexie Hull shooting a three. You have to worry about Kelsey Mitchell shooting a three. They both shoot the threes well from the wings. Now you don't have anyone in the paint on a back cut if you overplay the three. Cardoso's not in the paint. She's not under the basket because she's out dealing with Dantas. So, bam, again, pick your poison when this team is running and they're running an effective offense. They're very, very difficult to stop. I swear I paused all these, but I think this is, again, quickly. You can't fight. Oh, man. I wish they had gotten the right before that, but this was actually that. This is a block by Temi Fagbenle at the basket. This is some intimidation stuff. We don't mess. And then boom, Dantas right away. She knows where Caitlin is. Pass, bucket. Pass, bucket. It's amazing how fast it is happening now. And by the way, even when you look at this, right, there's one Sky player here in this. They're already retreating. They're not worried about getting this basketball, and yet the Indiana Fever still beat them down the court. And then sometimes we just got to do things the old-fashioned way. Again, made bucket. They're all running back. They've got it. They know they've got to get back. They've got to get back. But you know what? I'm not going to let you get set. I mean, there's no move there, folks. That was just an acceleration. That was a defender who is not ready to guard Caitlin Clark in the open court. And again, you look at the offense and the way things are spread out. You look where Aaliyah Boston is. You look where Camila Cardoso is because of where Aaliyah Boston is. Camila Cardoso, a 6'7" center, is nowhere near the paint. Now, I can't explain to you why Angel Reese reacted so unbelievably slowly and made no move to get over to Caitlin Clark, which she should have. I'm not saying that would have mattered, but again, spread out the floor. Nobody's in the paint. She just blew right by her. They play at a pace that cannot be matched by the rest of the league. And then this, oh man, this was just fun. So this is huge too because here we are opening up the third. How many points did they get in the third? 31. Right, that was their 30-plus quarter. They seem to always have one of them. Just tonight, they got 20, at least 22 in every other quarter. But again, this is now we're starting to get separation points-wise. But also, look at what happens here. Because of the pace with which the Fever play, even sometimes when the other team is getting back, you can get really, really advantageous matchups because a lot of times play in a transition game like this, a lot of time the defense doesn't get to match up with whom they're supposed to be guarding. They just have to pick up the player in the area, have to pick up the player that's closest to them. And in this case, you've got Camila Cardoso, the 6'7" center for Chicago Sky, picking up Caitlin Clark in the open court, folks. And that's just nope. And look, right there, as soon as Camilla planted that back left leg, that was it. Like she's like, yeah, I'm not gonna get to her. The help doesn't come over in time. The player who should have Caitlin Clark but couldn't because the Indiana Fever were pushing the pace. And then now we're just gonna step back and easy 3-pointer. Easy 3-pointer. Did I have anything left? Oh yeah, this is just for fun. This is what irks a lot of people. And look, the both teams missed a lot of these tonight. I tell you what, there were a lot of missed layups. But this, I mean, this is like, look at that, and I mean, that's an air ball from under the basket, folks. You can't have that. Oh, to that point, and this is why it's important, regardless of whether it's a player who's misses a lot of layups or not. Shout out to Erica Wheeler because she did this twice tonight. Chicago Sky had 2 opportunities for wide open fast break layups. And Erica Wheeler made a heck of an effort to get back, to put some pressure on at least, to disrupt the layup attempt without fouling, and caused players to miss twice. Absolutely fantastic. I got one more thing for you just because this was funny. I showed you the Caitlin Clark, the blow by a minute ago, when she just put it in another gear and she was gone to the hoop. She got fouled on that. And then you got to love this, because this is fun with the crowd. I don't know if there were, but I'm going to guess there were at least some kids, because that's just how she is. And she knows it's good. But watch her. She's playing with the fans. I'm gonna guess there were some kids with fever merch on, because But yeah, she's gonna entertain the fans as well. I don't. This has been updated. We're gonna show you this real quick. See that? That's number 6. Why? Because they hold a tiebreaker with the Phoenix Mercury, who have lost 2 in a row and are 4-6 in their last 10. The Indiana Fever are in the number 6 spot. They have reached 500 for the first time. They have closed out the series with the Chicago Sky, 3 wins, 1 loss. Chicago Sky are now 11-20. They have lost 5 in a row, and they are only a half a game ahead of the Atlanta Dream, tied in the loss column. So right now, Atlanta Dream are in control of their own destiny in terms of tying up Chicago Sky if they get a win in their next game. So things are heating up, folks. Things are looking pretty good for the Fever. So I just want to sum up, because, man, I know this is getting kind of long and y'all are stay up late. And I know some of you wait for this, which is insane. And I say thank you. But tonight had a little different feel. And what I mean by that, after the slow start, they ran more. I think they ran more. Not necessarily more than any other game, but they ran more than they've been running. They didn't have long stretches. Like I said, every quarter was at least 22 points. Their ball movement tonight was spectacular. There was a lot of making that extra pass, right? Where there's, okay, this is an okay shot, but I make one more pass and now we've got a wide open shot. They were more consistent with their play all around. They didn't do a lot, even in the half court. It didn't feel like the half court we're used to from the Indiana Fever. Again, I think you're seeing different things that are just occurring because of the way the team plays together, because of how they've gotten used to each other. Like I pointed out, you get a center like Dantas or even Boston, and they're out at the 3-point line. It opens up the paint, not for another post player, but you've got a Kelsey Mitchell and a Lexie Hull on wings. And you know what teams are worried about? That 3-point shot. They're worried about a couple passes and then a skip and a wide open 3. So they're overplaying it. And when they overplay it and there's nobody in the paint, it's a backdoor layup. We've seen it with Hull. We've seen it with Mitchell. And Chicago could not handle the speed and pace of the Indiana Fever. And Mitchell, again, this is 2 in a row now where I just didn't see the hero ball, Mitchell being a black hole type of game. I saw good stuff for her. She was making smart decisions. She was taking the right shots. And when Mitchell is playing that type of basketball within the system of what Caitlin Clark can do, when she's doing that, Mitchell and Clark, it is the best, most explosive, most creative, most dynamic backcourt in the WNBA, hands down. And they are a handful for any team in the league. This team you saw tonight, if they continue to build on that, they're just going to get more and more fun to watch. I could do without the way the game began. I mean, I was ready to break stuff and be like, I've got my Philly teams for this kind of nonsense, where talented teams play poorly. I don't need it from the Fever as well. I did not sign up for that. But I'm going to leave it there because I know I went on for a while. I really do appreciate it if you're still watching for checking out this video. I hope you did enjoy it. Thank you so much for checking it out. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you are enjoying it. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Is there something I missed? Because look, again, I do this right after the game, and yeah, I jot down some notes, but I've got one of those brains that goes a mile a minute. So I'm sure I could have missed something that I wanted to say, and I'll remember tomorrow. So let me know in the comments. Was there something you saw that I didn't talk about? Maybe I meant to, but let me know your thoughts in the comments of the game. Let me know your thoughts going forward of what this team can do. Can they get to that 5 spot? I think they'd have to sweep the Aces to do it. But it's possible, right? The only team ahead of them they haven't beaten. The only other team they haven't beaten is Dallas Wings. So we'll see. Maybe they can get a win against every team in the league. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for checking this out. Have a fantastic rest of your day, night, whenever you watch this, and I will talk to you later.